Two fellows were discussing the decline in the economy and the market and their stocks and bonds, and one asked the other, "Does it bother you?" And his friend said, "Who, me?" He said, "I sleep like a baby. Every 2 hours I wake up and cry." It's been a rough number of months, certainly for our economy, and I'm sure that all of you have had to make sacrifices to somehow downsize perhaps or change a lifestyle a bit. In the midst of it all, we are most grateful here at the Cathedral for your continuing support. As you can only imagine, our cathedral is rather costly to maintain, and we don't want to just be maintaining buildings. There's so much more that we are committed to as far as our ministry to the poor and the needy. So thus we thank you, since you are the parish, you are the cathedral, this is your parish, and this is the time of the year that we stop to both thank you and to inform you of our financial situation and to encourage you to continue to do the good work that you have always done. So this morning I've asked our business manager, Paul Drotar, and Donna Zeola, representing you as a parishioner, to share with us for just a few moments how we here at the Cathedral are facing the challenges of a difficult economy. So I welcome Paul and I welcome Donna.
Thank you, Father. Good morning. Don't worry, I am not going to talk about the numbers that are in our financial report this year. We have copies at all of the exits, and I plan on putting the information online also. I just want you to take a look at it. Feel free to call at any time, and we're at the office, and we'd be more than happy to explain anything to you and go over any numbers that you'd like to know more about. This year, I'd like to start by reiterating our mission. It's printed every week on our bulletin, and this week very prominently. It's an important key to who we are, and it reads, "The Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception opens its doors to all for worship and prayer as a spiritual home away from home. Through these doors, the Cathedral ministers to the needs of the community by providing food for the hungry, comfort to the sick and elderly, hope to those in jail, and education for the young. Together with other local parishes, the Cathedral provides a regional center for strengthening the community faith." Well, this coming year, we anticipate spending about $1 million in expenditures over the course of the year. I'd like to break that down for you in the context of that mission statement and the three major parts that I consider the keys, and they're highlighted in the mission statement this week. Number one is worship and prayer as a spiritual home away from home. We come here to worship and celebrate liturgies for many reasons: weekly communion with our brothers and sisters, weddings, holidays, funerals, special events. We strive to make it a place of comfort, peace, and beauty. This is where we will spend the majority of the donated monies. Clergy, salary, benefits, music, and supplies for the liturgy will cost us over $300,000. Another $300,000 is necessary for the operation and maintenance of the buildings. They're very old, and they need a lot of upkeep. It includes some very high utility costs and personnel costs for our maintenance and security. Number two, we minister to the needs of the community by providing food for the hungry, comfort to the sick and elderly. We at the Cathedral take this pledge very seriously, and we devote a large amount of our time, talent, and treasure to this service to the underserved in our community. Almost $200,000 will be spent in direct costs for the support of our Cathedral Emergency Assistance Center, our Emmaus Health Services, and numerous other human development projects that go on throughout the year, and education for the young. We are assessed close to $100,000 each year for Catholic education, and we spend another $25,000 of our own on programs for educating the youth. The remainder is $175,000, which goes for indirect administrative costs necessary to carry on these ministries. How we can help to pay for this? This will be reviewed by Donna Zeola. Donna is a longtime parishioner, executive committee member, chair of our Samaritan Dinner Committee, pastoral council member, and past president. Donna?
Good morning, everyone. I think we should be very proud as a parish community, because when we look at the mission statement, we really do what we say we do. If you come to Cathedral, but you haven't yet registered as a parishioner, please consider joining us. And if you have time, please consider participating in one of the service groups that we have. The phone number will be in the bulletin, and we would be so happy to get to know you better. We care for the hungry and the homeless, the sick and the elderly. We are a home away from home for many people, and we are home for many people. Coming to Cathedral is like coming home. We're greeted warmly at the door. We see familiar faces, the light from the candles, the fragrance. We find our place, and we're home. There is that comfort that surrounds us, a quiet that seems to settle over us no matter what else is going on in our life. We take a breath, we look around, we look up, and some of our cares are lifted off our shoulders. The Cathedral is always here for us. But the financial needs are great, both to take care of the Cathedral and to take care of the people who turn to us for help. So you may be wondering, what can I do? These are challenging times. Well, here are 3 things to consider, just to consider. A bequest. I think sometimes we think that bequests are only for the wealthy, and most of us can't anticipate what our expenses will be between now and when we die. So it's hard to promise a certain amount in a will. One thing we can do, though, is to dedicate a certain % of our estate, or, if you can, a specific amount. That will do 2 things. It will leave a legacy, and it will say a lot about what we thought was important to us while we lived. Bequests can be directed to certain ministries, food for the hungry, music, care for the elderly, whomever. And if you choose, those funds will only be directed towards those particular needs, so that even after you're gone, the work will continue because of you. It's something to think about. Another way we can help is with a simple donation. A donation for Cathedral, perhaps at the end of the year or at a special time for you and your family, will help to care for and maintain our church. Perhaps you have a special place in your heart for the sick or the elderly. Perhaps you would like to donate to those ministries. Or maybe there's something about the Cathedral that you treasure and want to support a particular aspect. You might consider just writing a check. You can, if you wish, indicate in your note which ministry you would like us to devote it to. If each of us would just consider making a donation, it will make a big difference. And finally, perhaps we can reflect on our weekly donation and prayerfully consider if we can afford to share a little more. I know that the Cathedral is very important to all of us. It is a most important place where the most important thing happens to us every week. It's what strengthens us to face the challenges of the days ahead, and it's what keeps us going until we can return again to be fortified. When we think about what Cathedral does for so many people and what it does for us, what it means to have this place and this faith community, perhaps we can consider fortifying our support in light of what Cathedral means to us. So 3 things to consider: a bequest, a donation, and the weekly collection. Thank you so much for all that you do. You are a kind and welcoming and generous people.